Now it is the beginning of a fantastic journey. Let us make a journey to the Cave of Monsters. Good luck, you'll need it. In Bubble Bobble for the Nintendo Entertainment System, being played here on the NES Classic Edition. Bubble Bobble, where you control one of two dragons, Bub or Bob. This is the single player campaign. You can also play two-player cooperatively. This game reminds me a lot of the original Mario Brothers from Nintendo, which is a good thing because that's my favorite Nintendo game. Bubble Bobble is wonderful, and for some reason it's taken me this long to get to it. I don't have the actual game cartridge, although from what I've seen online, it's not terribly expensive to collect. I think this is the first review of a game from the NES Classic Edition, which I'm a big fan of. I like that thing, so I've got a huge Classic Game Room shout out and thank you going to my man Derek from Sulphur, Louisiana for sending the NES Classic to the show. Thank you, Derek. Thank you for giving me a sweet version of Bubble Bobble. This game is as good as everyone says it is. It's just so cheerful and so much fun. It's so easy to get into, but incredibly difficult to master. Let's take a look at what you do. You kill things with bubbles. Sort of. Actually, as you probably noticed, what you do is trap enemies within bubbles. Although, why are these dragons shooting bubbles in the first place? What happened to these poor dragons that they shoot bubbles instead of fire or laser beams? That just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this is from Taito, the makers of Space Invaders, so as you might expect, it gets extremely difficult quickly after the game gets you into the basic mechanics. Bubble Bobble showers you with a variety of enemies that you attack in more or less the same way each time. You fire bubbles at them, trap them, and then, like Mario Brothers, you have to hit them again to finish the job. And as you just saw, if you can chain a whole bunch of kills together, you get some super bonus items, all the food that spews forth from the rotting carcasses. Makes about as much sense as a roast turkey that gives you health laying beneath a trash can. That does give it added flavor, though. So, this game has a very present arcade-style risk versus reward system. Do you play it safe and just kill the enemies one at a time and get rid of them, or do you try to ensnare all of them at once and hit them together and get some bonus points? I find that I find the more that I played this game, that I would just shoot enemies with bubbles and just let them float off and out of harm's way. But it gets tricky fast, and there's just a lot of different ways to play it, so there's no one way that you have to complete each level, and I love that about this game. I love Bubble Bobble, what else can I say? There's some weird power-ups laying around, you pick those up, and you try to spell extra to get an extra guy. You can also continue with a password save system, which is nice, and the NES Classic presentation is terrific, as you can see. This looks good. I like Taito games, Space Invaders, Arkanoid, U-Maze, and Bubble Bobble. I also enjoy their humorous level designs like this one, which is a nod to their very own Space Invaders. Arkanoid does some similar things. This is such a clever game, and it started the entire Bubble Bobble series. There's a whole bunch of these by now. It's a series I never really think about, but now I think I need to give it some more attention. I guess I'm taking a break here from Pac-Man Month for a different game. Working on Namco Museum for the Dreamcast and GameCube behind the scenes, and the Switch. If you're going to take a break from Pac-Man, you may as well play something good, like Bubble Bobble. Or at least Earth Defense Force. So there you go, once again, Bubble Bobble. If you like the original Mario Brothers, I think you're going to love this. Tons of fun. Thank you again, Derek from Louisiana. And thank you, Taito, for making so many amazing games like this. Got a long way to go to get any good at it. But it's fun, and I love the cheerful gameplay. I love the style of this game. Bubble Bobble. Who doesn't love dragons that shoot bubbles? Really, who doesn't love dragons that shoot anything? Can you even call yourself a dragon if you don't shoot something? You can't. At that point, you're just a stupid lizard. Classic Game Room has been brought to you by the ultra-massive Video Game Console Guide, 230 pages of video games on Amazon.com, Retro Megatrex, and how to make a video game review show that doesn't suck. And Jesus number 2. Welcome to the Patreon Lord Carnage Club being shouted from a turbo volcano. Michael and Ariana Nelson, Ian Shore, Stephen Chucknick, Al Stever, Rick DeBarros, Jason Goy, Andy Schleiss, Sergio Matthias Hergert, Philip Strabenmuller, Jack Stavris, Ohad Kane, Simon Allen, and Sean Zoltek.